guys, how's it going? I want to talk about a couple things today. I'm going to talk about getting used to changing. I want to talk about getting used to changing your stroke really quickly. And the reason I want to talk about that is because we're doing the Journey Through the Horse program right now. And if you don't know what that is, I have an online clinic. And in that online clinic, you get access to a private coaching group. And once a year, we do Journey Through the Horse, which means together as a group, we go through the clinic. Each week I give homework out and we do the homework, and you can submit videos, and I give video feedback on it, and it's really cool. It's really fun. And what I'm noticing, every year it's like a little bit different for whatever reason, just different group of people, different horses. But what I'm noticing this year is that we have kind of a variety of horses. There's some that are on the extreme on this side, and then some that are on the extreme on this side. And I love programs, okay? I love a good program. I love video programs. I love check the box programs. I like anything that's organized. So I really like my clinic because of that. It's very organized. Like each part of the horse's body has a section. And if you want to work on your horse's neck, you go to the neck part, the neck section, and you open up the neck videos and you just do all the neck videos, okay? I love that. A problem with programs, and this is something you would also notice with riding programs too. So back in the day, I bought all of the Clinton Anderson DVD series, okay, which is a program. He has beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And those are great. You know, you get to go through them. They give you specifics, you know. There's something you can watch. You have a homework. You know, I like stuff like that. But the problem is you have to be able to adapt. Okay? And when you can't adapt in each situation, depending on the horse that's in front of you, you're going to run into some problems. And I really found that to be true with my mare, Georgia. So I use Clinton Anderson's program. And I was a Pirelli person too for a while. They're very similar, and I know people don't like to admit that, but they're very similar. I can bounce from one to the other, and my horses don't get confused. Okay, so I used the Clinton Anderson program on like 6 horses, and it worked great. It was great. And then I got Georgia, and Georgia was like, no. And I could not, she was not going to fit into that box, okay? So I had to think outside the box. And I thought outside the box a lot with her. A lot. And it's really, really important that you're able to do that. So what I'm trying to say is I really enjoy programs to help us learn. Programs are good for us. Programs are not great for horses. Okay? So programs are good when we are trying to learn something. And it's nice if your horse kind of fits in the program, but you'll find that that doesn't necessarily work all the time. So you have to be able to adjust. And honestly, if you don't know other information, you're not really going to be able to adjust, are you? Like if you're not a massage therapist and all the information that you have is based off of my clinic and what I teach, then you're not going to know that if they don't like soft rubs, you know, do something harder, or do slaps, or do percussion. If they don't like effleurage, do percussion. You're not going to know that. Why would you know that? Okay? So that's why the Journey Through the Horse is so important, because what works for one horse might not work for another horse. So you get to see all these different things that you can do with your horse. Okay, so if this isn't working, you're gonna hear me in the video where I talk over what you're doing. saying, try this right there, try this right there, try that right there. Next time, try this. They don't like that, try that. And that's where a lot of the growth occurs. So programs are fantastic. I love them. But they only take you so far because they're for us. They're to teach us, okay? So coaching is really important. Having a coach or doing a 2-day clinic. So I offer 2-day clinics. Those are fantastic, super fun. We do the first part of the horse on the first day, you know, from the head to the ribs. And then second day we do ribs to hind end, tail, hind legs. And those are wild, so fun. I mean, let's talk about pros and cons of clinics. Pros and cons of clinics is I'm there. Isn't that awesome? And pro is that you get to see other horses and how they react. So let's say you have a really stoic horse and yet there is a really extroverted horse there. So you get to see the difference between that because it's a huge difference. Okay. You get to see some horses that have face tension and you get to see some horses that have hind end tension and maybe your horse has leg tension. Okay. So you get to kind of see everything. You get to kind of see some different techniques that you can use. I feel like working with horses in groups is always fun. And then you also get feedback from me in the moment. So that's the amazing part of clinics. Here's a con of clinics. One, you have to be able to fly someone like me out, right? And so that can be hard. You have to be available the weekend the clinic is going on. You have to be able to haul your horse there if you're not boarded at that barn. But I think the major drawback of clinics, especially for me as someone who goes to clinics, is I remember I seriously retain like 15% of what I learned. I don't remember anything. Someone will be like, how was your clinic this last weekend, Erin? I'll be like, oh my gosh, it was so amazing, life transforming. Georgia did amazing. We learned so much. And then they'll be like, oh, really? What'd you learn? I'll be like, I can't remember, but it was really good. Okay, so clinics are awesome because you're kind of in a cool environment. You get to be around other people that are awesome. You get to meet new people. You get to be one-on-one. But I don't retain a lot from clinics, so I assume most people don't. You know, you're tired after that 2 days. That is why I have a packet. So I give out a packet at my clinics, and it's very similar actually to the layout of my online clinic. So once you have done, you know, if you've done my 2-day clinic, in-person clinic with your own horse, then when you go to my online clinic, it makes it way easier because you've already done it before. So yeah, those are pros and cons there. I think everything kind of has a pros and cons. Having someone else do body work for you has pros. Like, no offense, but I'm probably going to massage your horse better than you. For now, I have clients that are getting better than me, so that's my goal. Everybody's better than me at the end. But I have some amazing clients who are very, very good at equine massage. But the con is, one, it costs you money every time. 2, you're on my schedule. And 3, I've had a lot of people say their massage therapist has left or moved or they can't get a hold of them, or, you know, if your massage therapist gets hurt, you're out of luck. So yeah, there's pros and cons of that. So yeah, I mean, there's just pros and cons of everything. So if you can kind of tap into everything that's available to you, like an online clinic, so that you have that to go back and reference, because that's for you to help you learn the moves, okay? And then, you know, go to a 2-day clinic where you get kind of one-on-one attention. Host a 2-day clinic, one-on-one attention. Do Journey Through the Horse. Journey Through the Horse, I feel like, is the most powerful thing that I offer everyone. Because you get a lot of attention, and not only do you get attention for yourself and your particular horse, but you get to look at other horses, and you get to watch, if you take the time to do it. You don't have to, but if you take the time to do it, you're gonna hear the feedback that I have for other horses that have other issues. So if you have another horse or you have multiple horses, that feedback might be something, if you can remember it, that will be very beneficial to you and your other horses or horses in the future. Okay? So yeah, I think that's what I was planning on talking about in this. I get off on wild goose chases. But yeah, that's the pros and cons of just clinics, online clinics, in-person clinics, having your own massage practitioner. But then also, you do have to get feedback, because just learning a program, it's not going to cut it for your horse. Or you just have to figure it out like I did, right? That's all I did. But it took me years and years and years. So if you have access to someone like me who teaches you and then does programs where I give you feedback, then you're going to skip a lot of years. I mean, I just tell people that are getting into massage, you're not going to be any good until you've massaged 100 horses. And I hope within those 100 horses, you are like bound and determined to help them and figure out whatever's bothering them. So if you're not having a great session, figure out why. Because some people I've seen just go through the motions, and they're not worth the money. If you're just going through the motions when you're massaging your horse, I promise you, you are not gonna have the benefit for them that you want. And I can compare this to when I work out. So when I go to the gym and work out, a lot of times I'm just going through the motions, because I know what motions I'm supposed to be doing. I know what exercises I'm supposed to be doing. But then I will get a trainer every once in a while, or I'll do a program that somebody else puts on, or I will work out with a friend, and then all of a sudden I'm a lot more sore the next day. Okay. Or I'll take a tip from like a video online, and they'll be like, change your posture a little bit, and I'll change my posture. And then all of a sudden that's a lot harder than it was when I was doing it for the last 2 years. Okay. So yeah, feedback is really important. Trying new things is important. And then just making sure that you're not just going through the motions and actually really working at it. And I mean, human nature is that you go through the motions and that you find the easiest way to get it done. And that is human nature. And that is also equine nature. Okay. So if you're asking your horse to do lateral flexion and they instead just go through the motions, but they're not in relaxation when they're doing it, you're not doing any good. Okay. So I know a lot of my clients do that. So when I come and I go, oh, they're buffaloing you, they're not relaxed, because I'll come in and all of a sudden, they don't have a full range of motion. Okay. So yeah, a lot of different stuff, but just, get involved. If there's a program that you want to try it. I love, if there's modalities you want to learn about them, go do them, take some classes, do weekend clinics are the best, I think, with like a whole bunch of stuff. I love going to weekend clinics because it always kind of exposes, anytime I take Georgia to a weekend clinic, it exposes something in my training that needs work, right? So yeah, have fun, go do some stuff with your horse. Join us for Journey Through the Horse, or get the online clinic, have a 2-day clinic, whatever. It's fun. All of it's fun. It's all good. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.